Another day, flavorless forage.
What in the heck is this magic? It smells intriguing. Could this be the answer to my lifelong struggle against bland wilderness cuisine? Okay, deep breaths. Don't get your hopes up, big guy. Finally.
A meal fit for a famished Bigfoot. Thank you, Alpine Touch. My Rocky Mountain adventures just got a whole lot tastier.
Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective is partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more.
Coach Vigen, congratulations on win number 50. It's quite an accomplishment. You guys took control of the game early and didn't let up. It was good performance.
Yeah, and you know how we want to play. We want our defense to set up our offense, and special teams to be a factor, and offense to capitalize on those opportunities, and especially the early going. That's what you saw. Not knowing exactly what they would do defensively, against our defense with two quarterbacks, I thought we did a phenomenal job of shutting all that down, and knowing there'd be aggressive, on defense, we would have to take some shots, and by and large, we capitalized on that. So yeah, really pleased with the start, and then followed up with a really solid second half, get everybody in the game that could get in the game. Really pleased with that performance.
And to not allow a touchdown like a viable offense like Eastern Washington, that's good.
Yeah. Credit to the staff, the players. They could present some real challenges with what they are capable of doing, and felt like. Our guys played really disciplined. When we play disciplined football and trust our teammates, and all 11 guys are doing their job, I think we can be pretty dang good, and that's what that showed today.
What did you think was most key to getting some of those deep balls completed today?
Well, I think a little bit scheme, being able to scheme some things up, and I think we have players capable of getting open. Justin, by and large, in those opportunities was on the money. I mean, they'd shown to be vulnerable to the pass, and we needed to take advantage of that. And I think for the most part, we did that, especially early.
On Hunter's touchdown, it looked like Chris kind of drew that safety away from him down in the middle. Did you feel like Chris's presence was pretty?
Oh, yeah. I'd maybe need to take a look. I know it was wide open, and we hit a void. Justin hit him right in stride, and Hunter can run. I mean, that's probably the first time anybody's really seen Hunter get out and run. So, we got some, I think, impressive young athletes that continue to emerge, and Hunter's one of them. But I think we got a long list of those guys that are growing up, and it was great to see him make that play. And Justin did a good job of just allowing him to.
Justin connected with 5 different receivers for 25 yards or more in the first half. What does that say about your guys' offense and his play?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of guys that are capable of making plays. It's not like we have to go after one guy. We can spread the ball around. We can let the opportunities dictate where the ball goes. And if we can play that way and not worry about who's getting the ball, I think we'll have a chance to be pretty good. And Justin being timely and accurate, making good decisions is all a piece to it. So, yeah, one of those games where everybody, for the most part, got involved, and certainly pleased with that, because I think we got more than just a couple guys that can make plays.
Let's talk about the reserves that came in. I was really impressed there. I mean, Kuhn gave you a nice boost, that kind of got the running game going. I thought your second string, third string defense, what have you,
yeah,
I thought was really good too. Good tackling. I just thought really a solid effort.
Yeah. That's guys really valuing the opportunity to get in there. If you're a second or third teamer, those opportunities, you don't know when they're going to come. Some of our guys rotate, some of them don't, and I think they really value that, and then they value, their contribution to what that final score looks like. So for that group on offense to score a couple times, and defensively not to give up any points, and they got the ball, inside the 10 the one time and we held them. So, yeah, fired up about everybody and their contribution today, and that's what we want this program to be. Everybody feels valued, everybody understands that they had a role, and days like this where everybody can actually get out on that game field don't come around every week. So I'm glad we got it, and I'm glad everybody took advantage of it.
Coach, what went into the decision to do the fake field goal?
Well, we were getting pressured quite a bit. It was in no matter where the score might be, I guess, and we were still, that was whatever that pushed it to. I think it pushed it to 36-3. Ideally, we would have got the first down and we didn't have to do it, but it was a look that we felt like they were vulnerable, and it was good to execute it, because ultimately, being able to demonstrate you can do something like that, I think is important. And Colby's a really good athlete too. He could get up and go, which he did on that, and I think that was important, because if they get to stop there and we got in a field goal block and all that stuff, we needed to grasp the momentum. That was really important, and that was a big play to continue that thought process.
Coach, it seemed like Bryce Greedy was all over the field defensively, especially on that first drive. Just your thoughts on his play today, the growth throughout the
Bryce was. I know Bryce was challenged. With his play, with his consistency through the week, and I know this program matters a lot to him, and he took that to heart, and his opportunity, he doesn't take it for granted. So, again, a young player. I mean, Bryce has played a bunch, but he's only a third-year guy. So, to see him take that coaching and then apply it on the field, and I hope we walk away and say that's the best half of football he's played. That's what we need. We need guys that are continuing to get better, and I'm pleased that Bryce showed up in a big way.
How do you balance the win of a special teams touchdown in that way against some of the special teams? Basically, you mentioned the block kick.
Yeah.
2 missed extra points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything, whether it's special teams, offense, defense, I know there's things we can coach off of. So we will do that. The fact that the score was what it was, we're not going to gloss over the things that need to improve. There's days where 2 missed extra points will kill you. It didn't happen today, but that will. So Miles will get that straightened out. It was good to see him do that within the game and get a couple more opportunities. The block, we'll have to take a look. That was a deeper field goal, which generally is going to come out a little bit lower. I don't know if we got a little too much penetration there, but we can't miss on those opportunities. So we'll figure it out and move forward and make sure it doesn't happen again.
And when you consider week to week, just so many more possessions this week compared to last Saturday, how much is that a credit to your defense and just how well?
Yeah, absolutely. You look up at that scoreboard. We have those stats that are there, omnipresent all game, and I know they had a real small number when it came to yards for quite a while. So the defense really set the tone and didn't allow them to breathe. And offensively, we took advantage of that. 21-0 pretty fast, mostly because of the defense just doing their job and getting the offense the opportunities in the short fields and all that. So, that's the way you want it to look, where the defense, makes it really hard on them. And, a team like that, we found that out last year. We scored and got up on them, but then they scored, and then it became really complicated because they could run the whole gamut of their offense. But you get up 3 scores like we did, as fast as we did, it becomes a lot harder for them.
Your defense this year, 10 points in the last 3 games, but it's just been so consistent. What can you say about just that?
Well, I think we're improving. Our first opponent was our first opponent, and ever since, I think we've taken that game even and learned some things. We were caught with some issues of not being able to tackle that day, not having leverage, and I think we've really taken that to heart. And I think we've tackled really well. We've been in the right place by and large, and when we haven't, it's cost us here and there. So I think we're continuing to allow ourselves as players to be coached and to be to take the game plans and run with them, and really, I think more and more each game, just play team defense and understand what that means. And each week, whatever the offense does poses its own new challenges. And I thought we had a good plan for them and the potential for 2 quarterbacks. We really squashed that right from the start. And I don't know where they could go after that. And that was a credit to what we did, and didn't allow that get going at all.
Taco motioning a bunch in this game. Obviously, a lot of motion from a lot of guys, but him especially on the touchdown and then on the third down run that you had with him and Lamson. I guess, can you just speak to using him and all your guys?
Yeah. I think using motion, using shifts, moving guys around, trying to blend run looks and pass looks. I think that's all part of offensive football. The chess game a little bit and trying to create advantages however we can. And I think now we've 5 games, and you got to take a look at, okay, here's all the places Taco's been. Let's keep moving around. Let's keep getting him as many touches as we can each week. And so I think we'll continue to do that. It took a while for the run game to get going, and that's I think that was partly just they're gonna load it up. We're gonna have to make those plays in the pass game, but to finish 293 and 287, I guess that's balanced. It didn't look balanced for quite a while when you look at that scoreboard, but we got there. So pleased with that effort, and I know it's Colson, it's Chance ripping off those runs in the tail end that really allowed that to happen.
Do you have any kind of reflection on getting your 50th win and what that means, or what that means your program has accomplished over that amount of time? It's a credit to
the players and the coaches. It's a credit to the continued investment in our program, the support we get from the top down, the support we get from all our fans. So it's our expectation we go out there every week and win, I guess, and to get to this point, to get this milestone is certainly something to be proud of. But it's the fifth game this year, and it's the 3rd win this year, and we need to figure out how to get another one next week.
I don't know if you have an update on it, but I saw Caden go to the locker room kind of early in that game.
Yeah, he just wasn't feeling well. There was nothing, I know he went back in. We didn't have to use him much, but he just wasn't feeling well, unfortunately. So. Yep.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any town pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
So will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
And 270 yards today, and kind of seemed to finally get some of those deep balls that you guys have been looking for. How did you feel about, especially the pass to Taco, but just some of those other ones down the field that you're able to connect on?
Yeah, something we definitely have been trying to work on doing these last couple of weeks. It wasn't just an emphasis this week, but just taking shot plays. Like, I feel like we're super efficient when we do like underneath stuff, and just trying to find a way to let our guys go make plays. And credit to Coach Sturbick, those were new plays this week, at least. And then, timing, calling at the right time. Good job, everybody getting open and the O-line protecting. So I think it was an offensive effort. So yeah, I was happy to see that.
Yeah, and Chris's presence out there, how much does he help, not just on the catches, but on getting other guys open?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we have Taco, everybody knows who Taco is, and then all those other guys, adding component of, hey, we got to look for that guy too. And I think on the outside he brings a sense of speed. And we got to keep doing a good job of keeping him involved and letting him make big plays, because he's definitely capable of that. But I think he's doing a great job. Happy to have him back. It's one of my good friends. So.
You mentioned big plays. Vigen emphasized big play ability and executing that this week. I mean, we saw it right away off the bat. Just how much of an emphasis was the offense for that this week?
Yeah, it's huge. So last week we kind of looked at it like, hey, we had 18-play drive or 21-play drive. Like, that's great. But being able to, flip the switch and, have a huge touchdown, that kind of changes the momentum of the game. So, it's just, it's a thing where we're all gonna execute. And I think if we do that, we're able to make those big plays, and you saw that today.
And he's also emphasized complementary football, to see the defense get Eastern off the field so efficiently and so well. What's that like as an offense?
Yeah, I mean, it was they make our job pretty easy, especially in those first couple drives. I think maybe we started on our own 47 or something like that, but we were pretty much in their territory, at least for the first quarter, and that's huge for an offense. I mean, not having to drive from your own 20, it's a lot easier to get points on the board. So, I mean, credit to them. They're doing a hell of a job, so they just got to keep it up, and so do we.
On your touchdown to Woods there right at the end of the half, I think that ball was probably 5 feet away right when he turned around. Was that something you were aware of? You were like,
yeah.
is he going to turn around?
Yeah, so that's kind of like an inside-out read deal, and I kind of felt the safety fall off a little bit, and honestly, not something we've done in practice because it's supposed to be more of a vertical route, and he just made a great play. But I was trying to back shoulder it to him because there was so much space on the outside. But yeah, Bez, he's playing good, so just got to keep him involved, and it's a hell of a play, honestly.
Third straight week, the offense has scored on the opening drive. Just how important is that to come out and set the tone early?
Huge. That's a big part of football is defense going to stop, and our ability to go down there and score is huge. So we need to keep doing a great job of that, and I think Coach Sturbick's doing a great job with openers and putting us in good situations. So yeah, it's big time for sure.
What kind of message do you think putting up 57 in your first Big Sky game kind of sends to the rest of the conference?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a statement. Like we said, we wanted to, make people think about us offensively, and we got to continue to do that every single week. There's a lot of good teams in this conference, and next week we got a great game. So it's good, and I think it was the best week of practice we've had all season. So being able to take that from the practice to the actual game is super important. So I was happy with it.
Anything in specific that stood out in practice over the week to make it so good?
I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, it was a thing where everybody knew exactly what we were doing every single day. Like, we had a huge install on Monday and Tuesday, and the guys just attacked it the right way. Like, we got guys meeting with each other throughout the week, which we've been doing the whole season. But, we won last week, but there was like still this sense of fire. Like, hey, we can be so much better. And everybody attacked that. So it's encouraging to see just when you have a whole unit coming together.
How much have you kind of learned from Sturbick's offense, and how much has it taken time, I guess, for everybody to kind of get used to all the pieces, but especially just the playbook?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. I think him and I are still, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. And obviously there's been some bumps in the road, like you guys have seen in the last couple of games. Like maybe I miss a read or miss a throw. But just the ability to bounce back is so important. So we're still working through this together. I mean, what is it, week 5, and we got a long way to go. So just continue to meet with him and continue to create that relationship is super important. So yeah, we're getting better.
Last week's game, not just the score, but a couple of the missed throws that you mentioned. How motivated were you and just the whole team to kind of bounce back from that performance?
Yeah, I mean, missed throws are just like, it's going to happen as a quarterback. Obviously, you don't want it to happen. And I wore that. We won the game, but I still felt like this sense of emptiness where I knew I could play so much better. So it was just one of those deals where it's like, hey, attack practice. That's how you're going to get better. And I think we did a good job of that this week.
You've been at home for 4 straight games. Just what's your biggest takeaway now going into your road game against NAU next week?
Yeah, been at home for 4 games, so kind of got into rhythm. But just the ability to understand that NAU is a really good program. We see what they do, and they probably see what we do, but just attacking it like every single game. We know it's going to be a great opponent, and everybody in the Big Sky is really good. So trying to attack 1 week at a time, and I think our guys are doing a good job of that.
When you consider from 1 week to the next so many more offensive possessions today, how fulfilling is it to have like a whole group offensive performance like this when you have so many more opportunities to do that?
Yeah, I think maybe last week it was just like a little frustrating, couldn't get on the field, but we had a 3 and out where we couldn't expand the drive, so it felt good to get the ball in our hands. And like I said, credit to the defense. I mean, they're playing their tails off, and when you get in a rhythm, and you start building that confidence, I think it's hard to stop, any good offense. So, and I feel like we did a good job of getting a good rhythm today.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good weekend.
There's always a party in Montana, whether you're going to a wedding, a football game, a concert. Montana Party Bus can get you there safe and will take you anywhere in Montana. You can relax with friends in style, luxury, and safety. Western Montana based for local and regional travel within Montana borders. Montana Party Bus is great for both large and small groups with a capacity of up to 30 guests. If you want to elevate your event, call them anytime, 406-200-8096. You can also visit mtpartybus.com. Travel anywhere in Montana in style with the Montana Party Bus.
Being in this industry since I was in college, one of the things I think we take the most pride in is Aspen Sound's been such a presence in Missoula for almost 40 years. The cool parts about our job is people always ask us what we do for a living. I sell phone, whether it's as simple as window tints all the way up to integrating a backup camera into a factory screen. I'm pretty excited about the options that we can present.
Well, just getting that fumble. I think maybe one of your first turnovers, if not your first turnover of your career. So just take me through that play and the accomplishment of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was running to the ball. It ran. I just saw it was getting bobbled around, and it just ended up sliding towards my way, and I just jumped on it. So, I mean, I went to the side. Like, could have scooped the score, but I was like, nah, there's too many people around, so I just got on it and wanted to get the offense back the ball.
And how'd you
Defense holding them to 3 points. What do you attribute to the dominance of really, these past 3 games?
It's just doing our 1-11 every time. That's a thing that we preach on defense, doing our 1-11, trusting the guys around us.
What was the process like of trying to prepare for a team that might have and did throw 2 quarterbacks at you? You just having to be ready for both of them.
Yeah, we kind of knew that 15 was coming back this game, and we in practice we schemed around it, and we knew what they're gonna do. Their identity is identity. They didn't change too much when they switched them, but we knew who was more dynamic coming out.
How fulfilling is it to, after the fact, look at what your defensive unit accomplished against both of them, and you never let either of them get comfortable? Like, how fulfilling is that in terms of like what your preparation looked like?
It feels great. That means we did what we needed to in practice, and even the scout guys giving us great looks, and just credit to them giving us great looks and all that. But it's on to the next one.
What was the motivation like after last week, after allowing all those yards and plays for them? What was kind of the message, I guess, going into this one?
We just got to do our 1-11. Everybody trusts each other. We had a little bit of inconsistency in that game, but we just got to trust each other, and that's what makes up for it.
You guys seem like you're really good at all 3 levels. What's it like as a cornerback or a DB when you know your linebackers, you know your line, everybody's doing their thing? What's that do for you?
It's great because knowing that they'll get to the QB when it's when they're trying to throw the ball down the field, and for us is counting on them, and vice versa.
Your secondary is ridiculously fast. Who's the fastest?
Me. You guys seen it was me.
What's your 100 time?
Fastest I ran was a 10-3.
You don't want to put that on display on the scoop and score?
I mean, I was feeling it, but I wanted to get the old ball and let them do their thing.
Just the red zone ability the last couple of weeks. How much pride? How proud have you guys been of being able to hold them out of the end zone for 2 straight weeks?
We're really prideful. Just knowing that once we get into those tough situations, we'll know that we will fight, and if we ever get back into those situations, we have no doubt we can get out of it.
You guys have been home the entire month of September, now having to flip that switch to the road next week. What do you want to take from these 4 home games into NAU next week?
The crowd plays a factor into it, but even then, it's still about us. It's always been about us. It's never about them.
All right, thanks, Jhase.
Thank you, Jhase.
Meeting her stopped your world. The ring you give her should stop her heart.
Tina, will you marry me?
Not again! Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this. Because we want to be your jeweler! On our beautiful diamond! Clear! Come back to me, Tina!
Are you okay?